Hello, it has been a minute, as the kids say. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, which it very well may be, since I haven't posted anything in like literally 2 years, my name is Gianna, and when I was 8, I was diagnosed with early onset scoliosis, and then when I was 15, we found a birth defect, so it was reclassified as congenital scoliosis. And I have gone through many treatments for my scoliosis that were finally ended by my spinal fusion that I had 2 years ago, August 23rd, 2017. And like yesterday, I was like, I should check on that channel I created a really long time ago that I haven't like posted any videos on since, when like I announced that I was having spinal fusion and then never said anything after that. And I saw this like one girl, she's like, hey, how did it go? How are things going? And I saw a few comments like people like, oh, do you have advice for me and my brace? And I feel really bad that I didn't answer them. But so shout out to the girl who asked me how I'm doing, because you inspired this video. My spinal fusion, it happened. It went about as like well as it could. My spine is pretty much straight now, except for there was my doctor wanted to fuse me to L3, but we only fused to L2 because, again, we discovered that birth defect, it's on L5. So basically L5 is not functional, and if you have any idea what I'm talking about, you'll know that L5 is the last vertebra of the lumbar spine, and the closer you fuse to the end of the lumbar spine, the more likely you are to have like complications like herniated discs, osteoarthritis, and potentially need more surgeries. So we decided to opt to only fuse to L2, even though that meant I had a higher risk of needing another scoliosis surgery because that left more vertebra to curve, and because I do have a birth defect, that's always a concern we're watching. My spine was pretty much straight after it was fused, but at one of my follow-ups we noticed that L3 was starting to curve. So that's something we gotta watch. And I didn't tell my friends I was having spinal fusion, which is what I'm pretty sure I'm gonna title this video. I didn't tell my friends. It was like July 5th when we scheduled it. Which is, and it was scheduled for September 12th originally, but it ended up happening on August 23rd because there was a cancellation. So once I found out that my surgery got moved up, like, I just decided not to say anything about how it got moved up, just in case, like, I don't know, it got changed again. I was like, it changed once, it could change again, and that was my way of staying in complete denial about it. So I, like, didn't tell my friends because I thought it would be, like, awkward to text them because it was summer, you know, we were all busy, like, I found out that that the fusion got moved up while I was at summer camp, and so, like, a lot of my friends were at summer camp or, like, family vacations, visiting families. I didn't want to, like, text them, like, hey, guys, like, I'm having major surgery in 2 weeks, like, just to let you know. So nobody found out until I didn't show up at school for the first 6 weeks of the school year. And a lot of my friends were kind of concerned because they were like, where is she? But again, my friends are not very communicative people, so apparently they only talked amongst themselves about where I might have been instead of actually asking me. But then my mom ran into one of my friend's moms at the grocery store, told her, and then all my friends ended up finding out about the fusion. So that was interesting. I remember, like, going back to school and, like, people just kind of, like, staring at me, like, people that I was just showing, some people, like, I didn't really know, because, like, it was junior year, so, like, when you're, at my school at least, like, the way junior year, like, your classes get changed up a whole lot more than they did freshman and sophomore year, where you're pretty much taking, like, all the same core classes. Junior year, your schedule is a lot more flexible, and, like, you take whatever classes. I mean, I was taking physics, which wasn't required, I was taking anatomy and physiology, which wasn't a requirement, and then, like, so I had a lot of new people in my classes who hadn't necessarily known my history of having scoliosis. So they were staring at me like, what's this girl doing? Why is she showing up? Like, why can't she carry her own backpack? And then my friends, like, are people who just, like, kind of knew me, were just looking at me really weird because they were like, they knew something big must have happened to me, but, like, everybody felt awkward asking me about it. I ended up making this one really good friend who was in most of my classes junior year. It was an amazing coincidence, although I don't believe in coincidences. So he ended up helping me get my stuff from class to class for the first 6 months of the school year, which I am so grateful for, because, like, I felt so bad about not being able to carry my own stuff, and I felt really guilty for making him do it. But it wasn't, I guess he never felt that way about it, but I remember just, like, I don't know, I felt like everything, I was, like, such a burden. on like literally everybody, and it was a rough time. I don't know. I mean, when I look back on it, like, I'm not ever really even sure what to talk about because, like, there's so much. Listen, like, if you want advice about spinal fusion itself, there's, like, a million videos of it, like, on YouTube. You can, like, ask people from Curvy Girls. But there was another part of it that, like, no one could have prepared me for, and it was, like, I'm a Curvy Girls leader, and I've still never managed to really, like, talk about the way that it was hard for me to anybody, and to be honest, I'm not even really sure how to put it into words. It was a very difficult time, and it's still difficult to, like, think about. Like, sometimes I have to go look at my scar to prove to myself that it really happened, because it just doesn't feel like something that should have happened to me. Especially, like, where I am now. I'm going to college. Actually, my move-in day for college is August 23rd, which is going to be the 2-year anniversary of my spinal fusion, which I think is really cool. I mean, because that's kind of, like, obviously, of course, I wrote my college essay about, like, running a Curvy Girls chapter and, like, having scoliosis and spinal fusion, like, because, you know, listen, if you're in, like, middle school or you're, like, a freshman in high school right now and you're wearing your brace, you're having your surgeries, and you're, like, feeling like it's futile and you don't know where it's gonna go, this is a college essay topic handed to you on a silver platter. They will eat it up. So, if that's any inspiration at all, I definitely, like, got college scholarships because of my essay. Like, I got into schools I shouldn't have gotten into because I had this great story to tell. Oh boy, my voice. And, you know, now, like, I'm a whole adult. It's kind of weird because, like, when I just watched the last video I posted, which was from when I was going, like, the summer between sophomore and junior year, and I'm so different now. Like, everything that's happened to me, like, the ways I've changed, I have, like, you know, I went to my senior prom, and I have a job. I work as a swim instructor now, which is great because, like, water's good for scoliosis, going swimming, so it's, like, I don't know, my life kind of moved on from having scoliosis, but it's still, like, a big part of me, and it still, like, affects me every single day. And so, like, on the one hand, like, I don't feel like I'm in the thick of it anymore, but it's still, like, such a big thing, and that's, like, the hardest part to figure out how to explain to people, because that's, like, I don't know, it just seems weird to me that it feels like it should be over, and, like, even though I'm not currently, like, having surgeries or wearing a back brace anymore, like, I still hate going to my follow-up appointments because I hate the hospital where, like, listen, they were great doctors, great nurses, great surgeons, but I hate it because it reminds me of that time. Yeah, I have this very long hair. I actually just got a haircut yesterday, and it gives me the option to cover my scar if I'm wearing a shirt that I didn't realize showed my scar. And I'm doing okay. I guess if you want to see more videos like this, you can comment below. I know I am not consistent at responding to comments, as evidenced by the fact that I, like, totally neglected this channel for 2 years. But thanks for listening. Maybe I'll talk some more about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye for now.